This episode of The General's Gentleman is sponsored by Sorcerer King Rivals, a new 4X grand strategy game where heroes of might and magic and Age of Wonders meet civilizations. Build your cities, gather your armies, and grow your magic to stop the evil Sorcerer King.
Welcome to The General's Gentleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Company of Heroes 2. Unfortunately, not in the balanced preview, we're in the live game currently, but our conciliatory prize will be that we'll, I don't know.
Consolidation.
Yeah, something, words. Will be that Luvnest and will be our Soviets.
Luvnest. His opponent, Wuffya, the OKW. Oh. Yeah, that's him. Sorry. I forgot I was going to do the big Zoom thing.
Good. I thought I screwed up the intro and then you messed up your Zoom thing, so I'm quite happy. All the blame is off me. Everyone's going to be laughing at you in the comments instead.
No, I hate when that happens.
Everyone forgets.
Well, last game we didn't do the Zoom thing either.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't do it in 0 hour either. Anyway, Wuffya going for his Kubel. That's a great choice on this map. A lot of spread out territory. A lot of roads. Light vehicles in general are good on this map. Kubel, obviously for different reasons, because it's not a combat unit, but it is still good on this map. But there are some players that just build a Kubel regardless. Like, I don't care if this map sucks for Kubels. I always build a Kubel. You know, it's like, you know, your grandma that has always voted Liberals and she refuses to change.
I grew up in a Liberal household, so I vote Liberals.
Yeah.
Well, that's odd because I also want to privatise Medicare, Callum. So
if you want to hear more about Australian politics, watch our Australian Q&A video. It involves Blake arguing with someone who is kind of a racist, but not
also
really.
Also kind of not. Which happens more than you think in Australia. That kind of.
No, that was funny. I love that.
It was good fun. Yeah.
Just watching you guys argue with each other.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like we're all bros and shit. Like some people get way too personal about it. Like, oh, who gives a fuck? Like you can be passionate and you can argue, but like
you don't have to make it personal.
Yeah, there's no need to get upset about it. Like who cares, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I bet some people who watch that were like, oh man, this is getting heated, and it's like, no.
So the medal for worst from Pioneer Micro does go to Wuff. Congratulations.
Oh man, 3 stems for 1 card. Do I recommend?
Bad, man. It was bad. It just vaulted the heavy cover. It might have been an accident. He wasn't actually within the maxim arc, I'm pretty sure. And then he just ran around, didn't take any shots at the conscripts and the
Dude, that one conscript is a martyr. He is the hero of the people.
He really is.
Shout out to Tenchi. That's his saying, the hero of the people.
Yeah, it wasn't great. In other words, was not great. However, Wuff, thankfully, with the Kubel wagon, it's a decent amount of map control. Been quite busy capping up the right-hand side of the map, so he's not going to suffer too badly.
If I'm going to use people's terms, then I should definitely credit them. Otherwise, it's plagiarism, right? Like a lot of casters have their own sayings, their own mannerisms. Like Magpie's obviously the turbo stuff, but he also he says things like, "All right, let's see." How much, let's see if this Sherman can get some work done. And that's something that we say now. Like, we say, like, right, this Tiger needs to get some work done. That's the thing that we didn't say until we kind of watched these videos.
Tons of damage.
Freak?
Freak, my friend, freak. All about that Triforce.
And, I think it's ATR. Is the guy that always says, our heroes for today, our Luvnest.
Yeah.
Luvnest in Wuffya, so. Okay, there's gonna be the Maxim killing the Kubel, or maybe the conscripts from the house. No, the Kubel barely survives that one. Oh, this is a nasty Stim Pioneer engagement. Man, they made up for it.
They certainly did, Machine. They're dropping considerably more conscript models the second time around.
Ever get so mad that you just destroy a tree? Yeah, those Stone Pioneers found a great engagement. There's no windows. There's actually a few locations where you can do. Oh wow, steals the house now. There's that. There's also on the side here where there's like one window. I don't even know if I don't think those are windows. So there's a few areas where you can get some really good fights. It's actually a good mechanic in terms of the way that garrisons are designed, it doesn't always work depending on the map, but the conscripts...
Yes,
Okay.
that was actually quite well played by Luvnest. That looked like a bait to me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa, whoa.
yeah, I know. Uh-oh!
The baits have become the baitor.
Yeah.
And the Sturm Pioneers, man, they barely survived that one.
Man, I love Company of Heroes 2 chicken. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Eurotrade, no Eurotrade.
It's way more extreme in Dow 2 because
Yeah.
the way that the melee bonuses work on retreating units.
That was overall a nice engagement for Wuff. He doesn't have a lot of income. He is well and truly cut off at this stage of the game. That's actually a very nice bait by Luvnest. He was finger clicking ready to get that conscript squad out of the way once the Sturm Pioneers evac from the garrison and look for the engagement with the combat engineers to force the Sturm Pioneers away.
The way that you said finger clicking ready reminded me of like an ad for KFC.
Yeah.
Like, finger dunking
Yeah.
ready or whatever.
Yeah, it's finger licking good is their tagline.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alright, some flares are being planted. This is fantastic from Luvnest. They were nerfed though. I believe they don't fully kill a model because they used to wipe entire squads. If you remember the houses, the clumping.
Yeah, flares on doors. Yeah.
They still do kill models
The dark
if
days.
the model is wounded. They do like
they don't kill them
70
from full
damage,
health.
and a model has 80 health. Every squad has 80 health. It is the received accuracy which determines a squad's durability, and of course squad count, model count.
The double Maxim is working out well here for Luvnest. Has maintained control the center of this map.
I think Wuffya tried to get a wipe on the Maxim with a Jaeger spawn. Didn't quite get it though. At the moment, Wuffya doesn't have any territory connected. He has a lot of it, but not actually getting income.
Yeah. See those pitiful numbers, plus 11 and plus 7 here for Wuff in terms of his income, and now losing control, the small amount of control that he had over the middle. And this cutoff, it's very difficult to retake when you lose close garrisons to MGs.
I think he misclicked the building.
Yeah.
The Maxim was in this one, wasn't it?
I thought so.
And the grenade's over there, so yeah, that was weird. Anyway, gonna be capping up here. Okay, there's no windows at the south, so we can force that one away. Just needs to be careful he doesn't accidentally get over the arc, because you can't trust the indicators when it comes to Maxim arcs.
At the moment, only one Sturm Pioneer model is actually firing. In order to get in the right position, they have to work in range of the combat engineers. So, very well supported Maxim here from Luvnest.
Oh, because I think this little outhouse thing, whatever it is preventing it from firing. Oh, he's in the arc now. Oh man.
Oh yeah, roasted. No retarget from the Maxim, which is lucky because that could have been a drop for the Sturm Pioneer squad. See how mad Wuff got though? He couldn't get in there. He just barged his way into the outhouse and tried firing through the wooden wall into the house. Unfortunately, there are no windows on that side.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
I'm glad he didn't do the Archon Hawk Deluxe. Which is,
one?
Oh, hang on, never mind, because the Volks may go down here. Ooh, close one. Jeez, the Volks survived. Okay, the Archon Hawk Deluxe is when you get suppressed by an MG in a house, and you get mad, and you're like, man, I'm so mad because the MG suppressed me. And I was like, well, why did you walk up to the house then? I was outside the arc, Callum. I was outside the arc. I was like, yeah, Blake, but you can't trust the indicators for the MGs. You know that. And he's like, yeah, but.
That sounds like something I would say. That's
Yeah.
that's accurate.
Like where you set up this really nice flank on this MG, but you slightly miscalculate it, and your squad gets suppressed despite being outside of the arc.
Yeah. Or the one conscript's model that gets confused and just jogs his way inside for the whole squad. Yeah. Call if it was done on like a per model basis. So if you are flanking with 5 members of the squad, that one guy there, it's like less chance of the entire squad just getting suppressed, scared off. Flares have done a bit of work here to these Volks Grenadiers as well. They keep running into it and dropping models because they were low from engagements against the Maxim.
Well. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that does. Yeah. I see this Cougar wagon still up and active, and it's nice to see Wuff with a bit of income as well.
Because there's weird things with AoE suppression.
Yeah.
Like if you won't suppress a squad behind heavy cover, but you can suppress the squad behind heavy cover by suppressing a squad next to the squad behind heavy cover.
Yeah.
There's some weird things like that.
Attack is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Which is one of the tightropes, tups and trucks.
Tops and trucks.
Yeah.
Tups and trucks with fush and chops. I love those videos.
I love them. I love them.
Love those videos.
The Maxim gets wiped. The engineers try to run around that side, but that side isn't safe.
Smarting. Oh no, the boss pull. Right, no, this is bad. Bad. Naughty. Stay in heavy cover. Good stuff, Wuff. What he should have done, stayed in heavy cover, 5 versus 5, engage the con squad, drop them down below 3 models or something, and then gone for the cap. It was a mistake to pull out because now he has to recap the Maxim with the Sturm Pioneers as opposed to just staying behind heavy cover and not unnecessarily dropping models. So.
Oh, this is important. The Maxim can be stolen, or can it? The suppression kicks through, comes in just in time. No smoke grenades, unfortunately.
No.
Smoke barrages. Feels bad, man.
Okay, so he can play this one by drawing the Maxim fire with the Jaegers to the right and capping the Maxim with the Bolz Grenadier squad to the other side.
You're on the money here, Blake. He spawns some Jaegers, can actually evac and get some nades off. No infinite. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, the timer. Man, those nades are weird because they originally, they used to not work in combat. Like that was kind of their deal. I suppose that was perhaps the justification why they cost 10 munitions, because they didn't work in combat, but now that mechanic no longer exists, I think. They just have a long cooldown now. But the Maxim was taken by Luvnest, so really good recovery. He actually could have spawned Partisans if he was that desperate, but he hasn't yet, which is good. Partisans do fall off hard, so you really don't want to you don't want to blow them if you don't need to.
Nice map control now from Wuff. Looking towards our VPs. Wuff didn't suffer that much. You have to remember, despite having territory connection and being low in terms of his income, the VP control wasn't too bad. So 486 VPs for Luvnest, 447 for Wuff.
No SCGs just yet. It's going to be hard for Wuff to clear these houses out. Doesn't have an ISG. You may want to build one of those, but even then, the ISGs just aren't good at clearing garrisons. Compared to mortars, they just suck versus buildings. You leave a Maxim in a house, and you'll have to evac it in about, 30 seconds worth of getting hit constantly. Soviets, on the other hand, have demos which can blow up buildings.
Certainly is one of those maps where Bolz Grenadiers are really going to struggle to close the distance on certain garrisons in order to throw grenades, and that's a very bold placement.
Okay, he sees it.
Should have the T-70 here as well.
I think he saw it.
He saw it. He definitely saw it. We went over division. Maybe it's because he doesn't have any other squads here and he knows you can't get it.
There's 2 cons.
The T-70 is not even rotating over. Now it's rotating over. That's too late though. Maybe he missed it.
It is well defended though. Wuff didn't leave it unscouted. It's very important. What?
3 for 3.
Oh wait, no. I think I'm wrong about the signal flares. I think what they did is they gave them a maximum models damage per squad to 1, rather than actually lowering the damage.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what they did.
I was trusting your judgment. I don't remember what they did to signal flares, to be honest. Wuff is having a bad time.
Oh yeah, because we've seen them wipe snipers and stuff.
Yeah. But is that, did they change it? Is that something they change, or is that something you change? I mean, there are so many iterations that Company of Heroes do now, it just gets confusing for me. So.
I actually got confused one time. Because I remember I was like, oh, we should change it so shot grenades share cooldowns, the smoke and the frag grenades, like riflemen. And Smith was like, what? You know how riflemen grenades share cooldowns?
Share cooldown, which is a good thing, yeah.
But they don't in the game.
Oh, but they don't, right?
Yeah,
okay,
they're in the game. No, in the live game of Coh2,
Oh no, you're right.
You can
yeah,
throw
yeah,
a smoke
yeah,
and then also
throw the regular
a
grenade,
frag
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. So
yeah.
you walk into an MG.
Yeah,
oh no, I got
oh,
suppressed.
Yeah.
And then you smoke it off, and then you throw the frag as well.
I remember the discussion that we were having about that, how bullshit, how annoying it was that not only were they insta-smoking out from my suppression, that they were then throwing a frag grenade from inside the smoke to wipe my MG. That
Yeah,
was
so
not
you
a
have to
fun
run
time.
the MG away.
Yeah.
So it makes rifleman blobs just way too effective at dealing with well-entrenched positions. Okay, this Maxim is low, but so is the Jaegers. Now that was a really nice retreat because he waited until the T-70 was behind the house so he couldn't chase.
3 squads of Jaegers now in the field for Wuff. So we'll be making full use of those pops. No Oswin to speak of yet. Having gone for that Panzer headquarters, opting out of the quick Oswin route.
Yeah, that's interesting. He did go for his Panzer headquarters. Normally you don't see that. What it will do though is give him a very nice foothold on his cutoff, which is definitely a problem for him, and it has been this entire game. So if nothing else, having that there is going to help him maintain his fuel, which he currently doesn't have connected.
Maybe he just goes Panzer 4 here if he kind of stall out for it and there isn't too much pressure onto this Panzer headquarters. He's not forced into an Oswind.
Wow, Soviet Windustry.
Cool.
So does he go KV8 or does he wait for his KV2?
14 CPs. It's quite a high cost.
Man, I get so triggered when I think of the KV2. Remember that game we played on that snow 2v2 map with the 2 VPs in the same part of the map?
Yeah,
And it was K-Pen that he just like put his KV2 in the middle of the map and he just covered like both of the VPs and we were like, well, we can't use infantry squads because they die. And we ended up losing on VPs. And that was a...
Yeah, that was sad. That was a tilter.
He tried it again on Vo Farmlands, but because that map is well designed, you can't cover 2 VPs with a single KV2, and it didn't work. We won on VPs.
Really not a strong hold from Luvnest in terms of these side routes, the side VPs, the healers, just one squad on each. Scouting things out, and I believe
Oh man, this Kubel is
Wuff's
so
actually
dead.
gonna reveal that now. It is so dead, but it got important scouting information off, which is cool. So, it served a useful purpose.
It might have been worth leaving it for detection, just leave it around the middle of the map, put it on detection, because that ability is actually really good. It's like a mini map hacks. Oh no, get the
decap!
Oh no! Ah.
So you really think you can run away from this? Or
Actually, maybe.
Before. No, surely not. Surely not.
If he kept on the road, maybe. But anyway, uses the scavenger arty, forces the squads away. But that's actually really important now. Luvnest will have a much harder time holding the middle of the map without that house. But the VP situation is not too good for the OKW player, Wuff. Triple cap was on for a while there, down at 243.
Also a bit of a misplay there with the Maxim not focusing the Sturm Pioneers, instead going for the Jaegers, which is going to also losing engagement from Luvnest. See Wuff getting that victory point back.
So it looks like Luvnest is stalling for the KV2. Has some repair stations too, has one. And I'm sure we'll see more once he has the munitions.
Really hasn't shown his hand here at all. Any indication of what he's planning on going for.
Yeah, he isn't going for his Osvin yet, so I think it's safe to say that he won't. And
surely this is a Panzer IV.
Well, the Panzer IV is not going to be very good versus the KV2.
But it's not, yeah, it's something you've got to consider, but...
So that's the thing.
Even with that being said, I mean, does he... I suppose he has enough infantry presence here with 3 Jaegers and 3 Volksgrenadiers as well. Yeah.
I think he scouted the repair station, unless this is a replay bug. If he's seen that repair station, he knows that Wuffya has gone the KV2, in which case, perhaps he'll go for the Panther. But I think either way, the Panther's probably the safer bet because if it was an IS-2, for example, you would definitely want the Panther.
Yeah.
What else did he have? It was Tank Hunters, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
It would either be the Windustry or the Shock Rifle frontline, but again, I'm pretty sure he scouted this. If this is to be trusted, the vision thing, which is it's gone now. See, like that's the weird thing, right? I don't know.
Can't tell. I didn't actually see anything driving that area other than the Kubel wagon. That didn't really took more of a circuitous route around the left-hand side towards that victory point as opposed to right next to the power stations. I'm not sure.
Okay, you can afford the Panzer IV, and he's not going for it. So yeah, I think that's smart. The Panzer IV, it would be cool for like 2 minutes, and then either the IS-2 or the KV-2 would show up, and the Panzer IV would have a hard time. Destroying the houses again is going to be important for Wuff.
It's going to stand him in pretty good stead when it does come to holding that central victory point, having fairly healthy houses on his side relative to the destroyed houses of Wuff. That church in particular, it's pretty much still on full health.
I just love a house being referred to as healthy. Like, you know, when I go to my real estate agent, should I ask for a house that's healthy?
Change it into of sturdy construction then? Would you throw that in their machine? Yeah.
We want to make sure it's eating well, it's exercising regularly, it's getting enough sun, getting enough vitamin D.
Proper diet, so...
Oh, it is the Panzer IV, wow. Okay.
I'd say get wrecked, but I feel, having heard it explained, I feel as though it might be the wrong choice here, so...
Well, he's going to need more Rakettans if that's the case.
Yeah, definitely not Rakettan.
Rakettan's VKV2 versus KV2 is not a fair fight. I wanted to correct the V, because it'd probably be really confusing if I was like VKV2. Like, what's a VKV?
Maybe it's Panzer IV, Rakettan, Jagdpanzer IV.
Could be. Who knows, Blake? You don't know. Don't pretend you know, Blake. But no, that's a good idea.
I should really stop backseat gaming, shouldn't I? So, it's very rude of me.
Yeah, these signal flares are actually dropping a lot of models. I love how Luvnest is spamming these. And this T-70's Vet too, man, gotta be careful stacked up behind cover. T-70 is a wiped machine. Wuffya hasn't lost anything to it though, so definitely credit to him. He's been avoiding it as best as he can, and this is a fantastic map for light vehicles in general. One small mistake and you can lose a squad on retreat, and he hasn't, so definitely respect.
Yeah, Rakettan the only thing going down here. Maxim's having a much harder time. You can see they've been consistently forced off since we've seen this huge damage to the garrisons.
Right, Panzer IV's on the field. It's definitely revealed the Soviet industry.
KV-2 not a threat you have to respond to instantly. You're not at risk of all of a sudden losing the game, so potentially we see Wuff just hang on to the manpower at this stage, and then when he sees the KV-2, if he sees it, then he builds an additional Rakettan and adds on the AT, or saves up fuel. It'll depend on the timing, so it's up now.
And the thing is with the KV-2, it's a very defensive tank. You use it to lock down parts of the map. So what's Luvnest going to lock down? Is going to lock down one VP. And of course there's two other VPs on the map, which Wuffya can rotate between with that Panzer IV. With his Jaegers, that they do have sprint, quite mobile. They have grenades to blow up houses. But here comes the KV-2. It can wipe squads though. That's definitely the one thing that it does. So Wuff now has to be incredibly careful, not only because of that Vet 2 T-70, but also because of that KV-2. Now this is really cool. We see Luvnest using the T-70 recon mode to scout out for that KV-2.
Very smart.
Oh god.
Oh no!
The one time when you probably shouldn't be soft retreating.
KV-2 will be so happy if he sees those Strum Pioneers.
I hear more signal flares being tripped too. Yeah, there's those Volks, man.
Shoot my finishes. Nice dodge from Luvnest as well. There's the nade. There is the second Rakettan, now that the KV-2 has been spotted. Needs that AT option to afford something more tank-based.
Yeah, so the Panzer IV is doing really good work here. It's just running around the map, forcing off Maxims. And that's really what Wuffya needs. Because the Maxims are the problem here, because the VPs are too difficult for him to capture. Jeez.
KV2, man.
That long-range shot. Okay, guess...
Panzer IV's gonna take another shot here.
Oh man, if this gun gets a shot, he may lose this. If a T...
Oh, it
wait,
does, yeah.
Well, that was the T-70.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we have seen kind of medium tank play on the side VPs work as a strategy, but when you're at a point 447 VPs for Luvnest, 173 VPs for Wuff, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, Wuff probably can't go for a Panther even if he wanted to. He's gonna need to get a Jagdpanzer out. Or another Panzer IV wouldn't be a bad idea, just for maximum VP pressure.
In fact, it's Luvnest destroying the houses now.
Yeah, he wants to deny the spawning of the Jaegers. Oof.
I suppose it makes sense. We'll take out these houses in fairly short order.
Actually, you can probably take out this Panzer headquarters.
Yeah, well, we could.
Oh man.
Take that reticle not matching shown reticle not matching actual range Panzer headquarters. Only with KV2.
Okay, there's a T-70. He pops that field repair. That'll allow him to take one extra shot, but won't matter. Panzer IV couldn't get there in time.
Quite confident enough to go along the road, and there's a second
Oh,
Panzer IV.
no.
Ouch. Booby traps, booby traps.
I think that's actually the first wipe of the game. At least for Wuffya, so really good preservation so far. With demos, there are ways to play around them. I believe there he clicked on the point.
Yeah.
That's why they were clumped up. What you want to do is even outside of that, because people will normally put demos on the edge of the point towards your opponent's spawn. So what you want to do is flank around the side and do a weird capping angle.
Will allow you to dodge the danger zone of the demo. KV2's pushed up a lot.
Yeah, that Raketten's going to be stolen. Won't help too much for Wuffya, but it will definitely help for Luvnest. He's going to have 3 AT guns now. Going to be able to lock those VPs down.
It's a problem for these Panzer IVs. AT gun support on the sides.
I think there was a second demo. He's lost another Jaeger squad. I'm pretty sure I heard a second demo go off somewhere. So that's actually really bad news now for Wuffya. Only has 4 squads of combat infantry. I'm just trying to find where that demo was. Oh, was it that? It must have been this one here. Yeah. That's so nasty. Okay, P4's going in.
We should be alright here. It's going to start backing away. Panzer IV's going to have pretty good penetration at that range. KV2 actually stops. Going to be blocked. It is.
Yeah, nice work so far from Wuffya. The KV2 finally gets a shot off. But he's a little bit vulnerable here because there's a Zis gun setting up. The T-70 goes down to the other Panzer IV. He's fully surrounded this one. There's nowhere to run, but he hits a mine. Zis gun a little bit late to start firing. KV2 is destroyed. Can the Panzer IV survive this one?
It seems as though they canned a very well microed engagement by Wuffya. I'm not sure if Luvnest was a victim of poor play or poor pathing there, because the KV2 actually stopped and then it was caught by the Panzer IV. Had it kept going, the KV2 probably would have rounded the Garrison and would have denied the rear armor to the Panzer IV, and in addition, the Panzer IV would have been within Zis range, so it would have gone down a lot faster.
Aren't we all victims of pathing? May not be today, but one day you'll be a victim of pathing. I find there's a lot of locations here where it's very hard.
Don't trigger me.
Yeah, I know you get triggered. What was it? The IS-2.
The IS-2.
Like, oh no,
Twice
there's
in
a
one
Zis
game.
gun, and it does like a 7-point turn, while there's a whole bunch of things shooting at it.
Yeah.
Where, obviously, in real life, tank, especially in IS-2, would just crush the pack.
Go straight over the top.
It's a Soviet mine, so that won't blow up.
The enemy is down to
Oh.
100 points.
Those are the situations where you can actually kill your own squad. He damages cons. If they were behind the wreck, he could have lost it. There was a video of Hans. I don't know if you saw that.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a
One of
sector.
his tanks killed his own squad because it was hitting something on retreat, but it missed
Right.
and hit the squad of his own squad and killed
Okay.
it.
I don't think I saw it. Second KV2 is here, but we won't be seeing another one of those for a while. Luvnest well down in terms of his resources. 100 manpower, 30 munitions, 46 fuel. He's blown a lot getting that second KV2 out.
In general, if you can, you want to have your tanks over here as the north player rather than over here because it's a lot harder to path through. Whereas if you're here, you have a very open, straight retreat path back to your base. That would have saved his KV2 if it was over here. It didn't need to be where it was. Unless he was trying to fire at the cutoff or at the Panzer headquarters. But anyway, VPs are getting dangerously low. This is one of those games where it would be close if not for one player having to make a lot of difficult engagements to try and get the VPs.
You're now down to 62 VPs, attempting to stabilize with the central cat, and the KV2 is going to prevent that.
That was a really nice play there by Wuffya. He kept moving the Jaegers around, and then he sprinted as soon as the decap finished because he knew the KV2 was around somewhere. The KV2 won't be able to hit a moving target. Oh man.
Ooh, it's the mine.
But you know what can hit moving targets? Mines. And there's going to be a KV2 with a rear armor exposed. Should go down in just one more shot. The world's most obsolete or redundant AT grenade.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Goodbye.
What? What?
Now he has to back away.
Did you see the Zis gun?
Yeah,
it went
I
through
saw,
the model
yeah, it
as
went
well.
through it, yeah.
Oh my god.
That is unfortunate.
And this is a pretty spaced out squad, so the Sturms aren't at risk of getting wiped here.
Oh, KV2, save the stun.
Heavy losses. 50 points remain.
It's actually the suppression there. So.
It's P4. Does he have sight range? Oh.
Misses.
He
He
didn't-
might have time for one more attack round.
He could have popped his tracking. That would have made a little bit of a difference. Yeah, and now
Should've
causing an
done.
Osvin.
Nah,
Excellent
yeah.
play.
Yeah, good.
Loses the Zis gun.
Certainly, yeah, good play for Wuffya, bad play from Luvnest. He probably should have taken another shot there. This gun was going down regardless. AT gun's quite low here. Both Panzer IVs probably shouldn't have survived.
KV2 in the danger zone. I like how Wuffya is taking out these repair stations when he can. Because the repair stations, every time he rebuilds them, it's going to be preventing him from laying a demo. Or almost a demo.
Yeah. This gun actually going to be stolen away here.
Oh, the Vox. Almost got a Faust off there. Nice response there from Luvnest. Didn't give it to him.
Tell you who could use a repair station machine.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, he needs a repair station.
So the Strum Pioneer is now reinforcing. It's back up to 4 models, and they've got a bit of work ahead of them today.
Triple cap at the moment for Wuffya, but for how long? Oh, he does steal a Maxim though. That'll definitely help him. And there's an Ostwind on the field which can take out those squads.
Lost.
What was that? Was that Jaegers?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was Jaegers.
Yeah, Jaegers. Yeah. I couldn't see what went down. That's alright.
Yeah, you can tell by the clothing.
Thankfully, Wuffya, despite having to repair all of his tanks, had the VP control, so he's not going to bleed anymore while he's in the process of repairing. This Ostwind has been very active.
Yeah, the Ostwind's been very good. Can also take out these repair stations pretty fast. Okay, P4 on the field. There's, oh, the Raketten gets the Ostwind before it gets taken out. I think Wuffya thought that he could focus it down, but not in time.
Probably the best play. The Ostwind was never really going to get out of the arc of the Raketten without taking another shot, so staying there and just rolling the dice against the rocket and hoping you wipe the squad first was probably the intelligent move.
If he was on the edge of the arc, then maybe, but he was right in the middle.
Yeah.
So he didn't have much of a choice there.
Hunter 4 ready. No enemy activity.
Bit of fuel here for Luvnest, so we could go for an Su-76. We need another T-70 because there's only 3 squads of conscripts and 2 maxims.
Yeah, it could work.
Oh man, that KV2 getting caught on the setup time. He can't move as well, he's stuck.
Can't move.
He has to take it off now.
He's going to take a Faust for his troubles machine. There's the Faust. Panzerfaust going to be blitzkrieging him. There's a Zis gun on the path, but it's probably not going to be enough. The Panzerfaust has actually found the block. The other Panzerfaust is going to be chasing in. Panzerfaust actually hits a mine on the right-hand side. There's a main gun destroyed. Critical, can't get another shot off. There's nothing he can do.
That was a Vet 3 P4 as well, and the KV2 will survive. It's abandoned.
No.
Wow, that was a very big swing there. What looked like a fantastic engagement for Wuffya turned absolutely horribly. The KV2 survived. He's got a lot of veterancy, and that will be a P4 being taken. Wuffya may have to throw away an Osvin just so he can kill this P4. Have I ever mentioned how much I hate abandon as a game mechanic?
Once or twice,
Yeah.
Machine, I've heard you say something to that effect. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm introducing a new casting rule. When we got, it's very confusing to play-by-play cast when there are 2 Panzer IVs and you don't know which one we're talking about. So from now on, I'm gonna name the Panzer IVs in the cast.
Really?
So one's called like Frederick and George. I'm like, Frederick's going in here. It's just, yeah.
But shouldn't we have like, you know, code names like Papa Bear and Bravo Leader?
Okay, yeah, no, okay with that, yeah.
Roger that,
Yeah.
Bravo Leader.
Yeah.
Going in for Tech Run Delta.
I'm down for that. That sounds like something we could pull off. Make it a little bit less confusing. Well spotted is successful salvage.
It'll only work if they have different veterans. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna have no idea which one they are. Okay, Austin's going in for the kill, but he's gonna have to lose his Osvin most likely, and even then, he's being repaired, so he probably won't get it. Nah, he's gonna have to lose this one. But it's okay because the Soviet P4 won't be Vet 5.
Hey, can you tell me again how much you like the abandon mechanic, Callum?
Well,
would you mind?
I think it's a great mechanic because it punishes people for making the correct decision. I should dive the
right.
KV2. Oh, I dived the KV2 and now I lose the game because my opponent has a free
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah, that was actually probably the perfect example.
Look at these crits. I mean, it was the main gun destroyed crit, which was unlucky to begin with. I mean, that's a different question, and it's... I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I kind of think it'd be better if it didn't exist, main gun destroyed crit. But it's nowhere near as bad as the abandon.
Yeah.
So you've got the main gun crit, and then also got an abandoned crit as well. Like, geez, I mean, you can talk about RNG, like whether or not you like RNG, and then that's just a whole new level. Like, those kind of crits shouldn't exist. You know, penetration, missing scatter, like that's fine. The RNG, it's fine, but those ridiculous crits, which actually determine the game. If that main gun crit didn't happen, the KV2 would have died. The P4 again probably would have died, but it would have been okay. And then Wuffya, you still maybe would have lost here, but it certainly would have been either man's game. We're now at this stage, there's no way. I mean, look at the field for Luvnest. He can build another tank. It's going to be 3 tanks versus 1.5, sort of, because of the Ostwind.
Pretty ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, the other when you were talking about kind of scatter and penetration, things like that, there are skill elements to that as well. It's like if you don't want your tank to miss, stop your tank. If it's on the move, you know, it has more of a chance of missing.
You can go closer.
Penetration for distancing, as well as like different damage profiles for different tanks. There are, you know, they aren't just pure RNG elements. So.
Yeah, this is what I mentioned in my RNG video, was that RNG, it can be interesting if there are influences over it. If there are ways to manipulate the RNG in your favor, then it's an interesting mechanic, especially because then it gives you that satisfaction when good RNG occurs, because you attribute the good RNG with your actions. Whereas when good RNG happens and you didn't do anything to deserve it, you don't feel satisfied. It's not fun because you didn't deserve it. So you don't get that good feeling of like, yay, I did well. But then your opponent is like, holy fucking shit, I hate this game so much. I'm uninstalling right now because of stuff like Main Gun Destroyed and Abandoned. I've been there. Of course, I never have uninstalled. It's one of those things that we always say we do. We never actually mean it. It's kind of like, I hate you, Mum. I hate you. I'd be so much better off without you. It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
P4, VP4, Frederick versus Alpha Bravo Leader Charlie Delta Echo.
Nicely done. Can't follow that. Luvnest people having the suede dancing shoes on. Suede dancing tracks, in fact.
Tracky decks?
Yeah, tracky decks, yeah. Tracks. Juking in and out of the Roquette arc, never took a shot. That was very, very nicely microed by Luvnest. So, stayed safe, and the reason that was important because he wanted to avoid any damage, so he was above the threshold for a damaged engine from the Faust from the very close False Grenadier squad.
So for an example of how Main Gun Destroyed crit could be interesting is if targeting the gun was a deliberate thing that you did in order to disable the main gun, but in doing so you wouldn't damage the health. So it's like, do I want to disable the weapon? Do I want to take the tank down and destroy it? That's kind of how it should be designed. Even then, it's still probably going to be a not so pleasant mechanic that would require it to be designed in a very specific way. But like that's kind of the questions you should be asking. If you're going to have those crits, like with Abandon, if Abandon is awful, but like if it's going to exist, there should be certain ways to deliberately make it playable. So I don't know. So like, say you use flamers. So like, if you want to abandon a tank, you get flamers and you just burn the tank, and then the crew die, and then you recrew it in a bit, which I think was originally planned for Coh2, but it obviously didn't end up happening. I can't think of any other better examples, or like if you can abandon the tank manually, like US, how they can abandon the vehicle, so you can do that rather than it happening against your will. So it's like it's a defensive thing rather than you base dive your opponent base, kill a whole bunch of stuff, but then you give them a free tank and lose the game. So, but again, I don't think it really mattered that much, to be honest. I think Luvnest was in a better position, regardless of how that trade would have gone. So long as one of the P4s died, which that would have died regardless because it hit the mine. I think AT grenades anyway. So overall, well played by Luvnest. The KV2s...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would have been close. It would have been very close because the KV2 should have gone down there. That was by all means the correct decision by Wuffya. So, yeah, had the KV2, I mean, talking in if buts and maybes, had the KV2 gone down there, it certainly could have been a different game. It would have been a lot closer.
Oh, yeah, I hate when people are like that. When like, oh, no, I would have won if I did this. And it's like, yeah, well, I know. That's why I didn't let you do that on purpose.
I beat you at 0 hour if I played like Rage, hey?
Yeah, like, yeah. I bet you in 0 hour if you didn't kill me with like one Humvee because I can't micro properly.
If I didn't lose all my squads, like I could probably be helping hands in like a game of Comedy Heroes too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But anyway, that's gonna be it. That was an interesting game. I think it was incredibly well played by Luvnest, by Wuffya, I mean, because as I mentioned, the light vehicles are very potent. Didn't really do that much on this map. The garrisons definitely favor the Soviet with their Maxim spam.
Yeah.
Not having flamers can be very troubling to deal them to clear them out. Excuse me, and yet Wuffya, you still had a pretty good game.
Did. So, overall, a nice win destroyed game as well from Luvnest. So well deserving of the win. Fantastic victory point control as well.
I also like how he didn't build an ISG. It's one of those things where it's like, do you want to clear out Maxims out of houses, in which case you spam like 2 or 3 ISGs, or do you want to just go a lot of infantry and try and just avoid them as best as you can and get grenades off? Kind of the worst thing you can do is if you straddle the middle and you go, oh, well, I'll build 1 ISG, and then it just doesn't really do that much because of how durable these buildings are and with how many Maxims there are. Not to say that 1 ISG is bad. I mean, a lot of times 1 ISG is fantastic, but in that kind of situation where your opponent is Maxim spamming, locking down houses, you need to commit a lot more than 1 or just have a different strategy in mind. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.